Ever wanted to make sure people were paying attention to the story that you're telling? Lucky for you, there's a way to do that. Well, there's a lot of ways to do that. But today we're going to talk about pseudo-irrelevant intrigue. And if you're wondering, I 100% just made that up. You know what? Let me think of something else. Delayed relevance. There you go. In layman's terms, it's when you create a moment that seems irrelevant and then it becomes relevant later. When you do that, every single moment in your story becomes important. People have to start paying attention when they miss something. The perfect example of this is Obsession. I just did a review on what I thought about Obsession, and you can go watch that over there. I saw tons of comments like, where did she get the gun from at the end of the film? Not remembering that in the very beginning of the film, when In interrupted Bear in like shooting a shot with Nikki, that he said,
Sarah just told me that her dad keeps a gun in the break room safe.
Are you serious?
What we have to pay attention to is the build up to this moment makes it seem insignificant. This was the very beginning, so we didn't know much. All we knew is that Ian did not want Bear ruining the trivia nights by hitting on Nikki. And trust me, I know some trivia night people, they're very protective over that sport. So when Ian comes and interrupts them, it seems like it doesn't matter. Like it was just some excuse he made up to stop Bear from hitting on Nikki. So what most of us did in that moment is disregarded, which leaves you kind of confused at the end when you're like, where did she get a gun from? And the whole time she was told where the gun was at the beginning of the film. I used this example for two reasons. One, it's recent, and two, it's a good representation of how you can do it, but also that there's no rules. The way that Curry Barker created that situation and kind of tied that loose end, it's actually a storytelling technique. And that technique, or rather principle, is called Chekhov's gun. It was from a man named Anton Chekhov. And basically what it says is that if you introduce a gun in your first act, the gun better go off by the second or the third. And like anything artistic, this is not a hard set rule that you have to follow, but it is a good principle to learn. The real meaning behind this principle is that you don't introduce things into your story that doesn't matter, because that is the difference between making a story that is insignificant and a story that holds weight. Now, closing this loop earlier in your story could do a really cool thing, which is it would make people start to pay attention if they already weren't. But Curry Barker, he did it at the end, which means the next film you watch from him, you're probably going to be paying attention. So yeah, I just thought this was a really cool thing to talk about, and I called it delayed relevance or something. I was just trying to put a name to it. I don't know. I like cool names. I like making up cool names. What do you think about delayed relevance as a storytelling technique? Are you going to use it? Are you not going to use it? What about Chekhov's gun? Have you heard about it? Let's talk about it in the comments. And I appreciate you spending some time with me. As I said, I did a review on Obsession, and I also just did a review on Supergirl. So if you want to go watch those, I'll put them on the in title screen thing. And have a great rest of your day. I'll see you.